Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm Rusty Peace, and we are now a little over a week away from the Christmas holiday, and still LMU men's and women's basketball teams trekking through some South Atlantic Conference play, trying to get to the point where they can make the turn into the holidays, and then, of course, play their final games for 2015. We've got a couple of games that are behind us this week. We'll talk about that tonight. Al Carrington is our guest, and he's with the women's basketball team here at Lincoln Memorial University. And later on in the show, we'll talk with Josh Schertz, and we've got a lot to talk about in terms of games this past week against King, Brevard, and, of course, most recently Wingate for the women. We've got Brevard and Wingate for the men, and, of course, the weekend ahead pits both teams against the Newberry Wolves down in Newberry, South Carolina. Don't forget to keep up to date on all that's going on with LMU Athletics. Pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You'll find out everything you want to know about LMU Athletics. Back after this on the LMU Sports Network's Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. You love your car or truck? Let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Back to the show as we are now joined on set by Al Carrington, assistant coach with the Lincoln Memorial University women's basketball team. Coach, first time we've had you on the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm going to throw you under the gun here tonight. You've, as I understand it, you got some radio and television background, so any chance that we might pull you onto the set and do some games with us this year?
It could be a possibility, but right now I just need to stick to coaching.
I think probably Coach Evans would rather have you over there on the bench than over there behind the mic and watching her game.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this team. I mean, it's I've kind of termed them the cardiac kids. I saw one of the releases the other day that has kind of gone ahead and adopted that phrase as well. But throughout the games that they've played this year, and I think there's been 9 or 10 of them, I think they've played from behind in every one. And until last night's loss to Wingate, I think that for the most part they had been victorious against all the South Atlantic Conference opponents.
Well, the thing about our team is we have the talent, we have the tenacity to play with any team in the league.
Or anyone that's on the schedule, but I know that without a shadow of a doubt, we got to find a ways to pull out even the games that we do lose, the 4 losses that we do have. I think that we have to do a better job of just coming together and play 4 quarters. We do that, I feel like we'd be victorious and should be 10-0 right now.
Yeah, you could look at this team, and I think it would be very easy to say, yeah, we could be 10-0 right now. The thing that concerns me at times is this team doesn't seem to have that sense of urgency until the second half. Now, they've made massive comebacks. I mean, they've trailed by as many as 21 points. I think we saw them cut it to single digits last night. Kind of got away from them, I think, maybe in the late minutes of the first half, but in the beginning of the third period, we gave up a run by Wingate that kind of put us a little bit further out than we needed to be in order to get back in it?
I think what we need to do is, as far as starting out the second half, we can't come out flat. That's any team. You got, like you say, you have to have that sense of urgency when you come out in the second half and just play every possession like it's your last. We continue to teach the girls that, just making sure that we continue to do the little things right. Every possession does count. And I just know that yesterday against Wingate, we had a bad first quarter, but we got to make sure we have a string of 4 quarters put together, and we would have came out victorious again last night.
Well, you know, this is a team, though, that has exhibited a never-quit attitude. I mean, they fight right to the very end, and I thought that was even the case last night despite the loss. You know, it's funny because you get a team and you get into the game situation, and all you can ask, I guess, as a coach, other than to win the game, is for your team to give you a chance to be in position to possibly win the game in the final seconds. And I think other than that one last night, we've been in every game this year. Yes.
I think that also, too, is just making sure that, like I reiterated, doing the little things right. I think we had pretty good guard play. I feel like we could have put more pressure on the ball last night. We had times where we was kind of helter-skelter on offense and defense, which we can't allow. But main thing I think that hurt us last night was boxing out. I think we pretty much could have controlled the game, but we have to dominate the boards. That's one of our mottos, is we're supposed to win every rebound, every possession. And I feel like we didn't get an opportunity to do that last night, but that's what has kept us in a lot of our ball games this year. But the thing is, if we get open shots, we knock them down usually, but we just got to make sure that we just dominate the boards at every possession.
LMU is a team that kind of prides itself on its inside play, and coming along with that would be rebounding. You know, teams now that we play, our opponents are starting to focus on shutting down a Megan Pittman, shutting down a Josie Harding or a Courtney Cox or a Lakeisha Beasley. That being said, how critical is it for this team to be more consistent with the perimeter game outside?
Well, our guards got to have more confidence when shooting the basketball. When you have an open shot, you got to make sure that you're ready to knock it down. And we work on a lot of that in practice, as far as getting your hands in the shooting ready position, moving without the basketball, dragging the baseline, making sure you're looking for it. But I think our guard play, we got to make sure that they have the confidence when they're going to the basket. Don't just put up any kind of shot, but just go up, you know, with confidence.
This team is a very young one for the most part. I mean, you've got some veterans on the team, and obviously one of those veterans is still out of the lineup in Jasmine Kelly. She's off with her family right now after the passing of her father. Clearly, that's still probably on some of the girls' minds, and I'm making no excuses here, but you throw that into the mix along with the upcoming holidays, the fact that we're playing a very athletic opponent in Wingate last night, one that's got a lot of depth on the bench, and it's kind of a recipe for a perfect storm.
Yes, and like I said, I know our team, we definitely do miss Jazz. We definitely know that we have to make sure that we still have games to play. At the end of the day, we have Newberry coming up. We got to just make sure that all the games that we have, we got to kind of put it behind us and just really look forward to trying to come out on Saturday and have a good showing against Newberry, which I think we will.
Absolutely. It's a must. You know, when you go down to the Wolves' Den, it's a tough place to play, very small venue, very loud venue, but that's the final game of 2015, and I think it's also important that you want to go out on a positive note so that you can bring back that flow, that rhythm, and hopefully carry over into the new year. That said, let's talk about it. You're going to be traveling this coming Saturday. Actually, you're going to leave Friday, headed down to Newberry, South Carolina. You'll get a practice in down there, maybe a shoot around on Saturday before the game. I'm not sure, but you know, it's such a short turnaround, and this team now will be playing its 4th game in about 7 days, and so there's a possibility of fatigue setting in.
Yes, we actually have mandatory ice baths today at 2 o'clock for the girls. I know the fatigue has set in, but we still got to have that mindset that we still have a task at hand. Like I said, this has been a tough stretch. I mean, with finals being over last week, with the issues, as far as with Jazz and her family, and we just got to just make sure that we still come out ready to play on Saturday, because that was some important game for us. That'd be a good win going into the going into the holidays, finishing out the 2015 side of the season. And I just think that it'd be great if we can just come out with that victory.
Now, obviously, haven't played as many games as you have. You've pretty well been in the mix every day. And, of course, the NCAA mandates that you have a complete day off. Today happens to be that day for the team. So it really leaves you a little bit, even a little shorter period to prepare for the Wolves. What can you tell us about Newberry in terms of how this team has prepared over the last couple of days?
Well, I just know that with Newberry, they're a very helter-skelter ball club. They make you pay off turnovers. So we have to really be careful, and we really have to take care of the basketball. Every possession, like we said, which is our motto, every possession does count. Day in, day out. We just got to make sure that when we practice tomorrow, that it'll be pretty intense because we have to bring that tenacity on the court at all times. But I just know Newberry, that they're a great ball club. They've been at the top of the stack for years now, but I just know that if we do the little things right and bring that energy that I know that we can have on 3 of the quarters that we've had thus far this year, if we string 4 quarters together, then I think that, we have an opportunity to win.
Yeah, typical answer. Most coaches concerned with more so how their team plays than how the opponent plays, but you got to combat those things, obviously. The positive of this is I don't think we have to contend with Haley Lapeo anymore on the inside at Newberry. She's a graduate. I think out there on the perimeter they lost one from a year ago who was a tremendous guard player, and for the life of me, her name escapes me right now. But that said, it's still a tough place to play. And anytime you take on a Sean Page team, you know they're going to be well coached, they're going to be fundamentally sound, and they're going to execute a game plan.
Yes, and I know that one of their guards, Samantha Creed, she's a probably all-SAC performer. We definitely got to find out where she is on the court at all times because she does the little things. She gets points. She can pull down rebounds, but for the most part, she leads that team. And I think that if we can just play smart, play with a sense of urgency like we do when we have our runs of probably 8-0 runs and 10-0 runs, that we can just, like I said, find ourselves hopefully not in the last seconds, but hopefully we can jump on the team from the jump.
We've seen this team make so much progress. We got less than a minute to go since the first of the year. It's almost a shame if we can go down here and execute our game plan, take care of business against Newberry, that we got to end it right here for a couple of weeks because you break that rhythm going into the next half of the schedule.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's this way every year. As far as basketball, you're going to have that break, but you just got to find a way to win. And I think one of the things about our girls is we're finding a way to win on the road.
We're looking forward to seeing you guys on the floor this coming Saturday. Right. Best of luck. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Al Carrington, assistant coach with the Lincoln Memorial University women's basketball team. We're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, Josh Schertz joins us, and he'll talk about the Railsplitters' run at making the turn with only 1 loss on their record as they're in the middle of a long winning streak now, and now number 13 ranked in the latest NABC poll. Back after this on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee, and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Josh Schertz and the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team continue their run as they have lost only one game this year. That was the season opener. Since that time, they are unblemished and still perfect in South Atlantic Conference play after traveling on the road Monday night and knocking off Brevard, pulling away in the second half in a tightly first half contested battle, but absolutely rolling over the Bulldogs from Wingate. And I know, Coach, that while the first half may have unfolded in what you expected in that Princeton offense over there at Brevard, Wednesday's game with the Bulldogs of Wingate probably was what you expected, but the end outcome wasn't what any of us expected, I don't think.
Yeah, it was one of those nights where, that Wingate kind of laid an egg. They played as badly as they could play, and we played as well as we could play. And you certainly got to credit our guys. I thought our defense was terrific. And that being said, when Wingate got open looks, they weren't able to knock them down, and that's usually a bad combination. The team's playing good D, and when you're getting shots, you can't make them. So, things kind of snowballed there, and it happens sometimes in sports. We've all been in those type of days where, it's just not your day. And then from our standpoint, I thought our guys' concentration and their aggressiveness was through the roof. I thought we were really, really good and showed kind of the level we can play at, and we've shown it in spurts. We've had the last 9 games. I didn't realize this till Scott told me last night. 9 straight games. We've had a 20-point lead in all 9 games. Which is kind of remarkable that we've been up that much given the schedule we played. But again, most of the time we've gotten up and then kind of relaxed and allowed people to kind of work their way back in. And so last night was impressive. They were able to kind of step on the gas and keep our foot on the gas.
I think one thing that makes it even more remarkable is the fact that if you've had the 20-point lead in 9 of those games, I mean, you've also had a situation where you've had a 20-point lead in 9 games without a full complement of players, because for the most part, we've had somebody injured in almost every one of those contests.
Yeah, Donnie's certainly earning his money this semester. We're putting him to work. We've been about as beat up as we could be. Just little things, with different guys, and we did know going into the year. You and I talked early in the year that our strength was one of our strengths. Certainly was our depth, and there certainly is a strength in numbers. And you even look at guys that are playing now, like Hunter Spaw, Devin Hankins, that are getting minutes in games, and guys that are non-scholarship guys that are playing a lot and helping us out, and certainly doing a great job for us. And hopefully we'll get whole here soon. At least coming back from Christmas potentially, but just a lot of little things here, little things there, but we've always talked about, since I've been here, I try to concern myself with the guys who dress and the guys who are able to play, and you can't do anything but the guys who aren't available to you. So fortunately, we got a lot of good players, and that's allowed us to kind of have success through what might derail other teams.
Comparing this team to your teams of the past, would you say that this is the most balanced offense that you've had since you took over at the helm of the program?
Yeah, that'd probably be. We've had some years where we had probably, I would say it's the most explosively balanced offense. Like we had years where, we had 8 guys averaging between 8 and 11 points or something. But this year, when you look at it, I think it's the most explosively balanced. We're averaging about 97 points a game right now. So we got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket, and we've had to play differently. We knew that coming in. We don't have a traditional low post presence, although Curtis McMillion's kind of filled that void for us. But our perimeter shooting is really good. We have 3 guards back there that are, I think all league players, and then Dorian Pinson's kind of probably a Swiss Army knife. At the 4, he can do a little bit of everything, and he just brings a different dimension. And then when you got a guy like McMillion playing the way he's playing, and then the bench, guys come on the bench like Curtis Webb, and even like last night, Nixon Blanc gave us really good minutes. Paul Woodson's given us good minutes. Hunter Spaw, Devin Hankins, Tim Pierce. So you got a lot of people out there that can do a lot of different things. So I would probably agree that it's probably about as balanced and explosive as we've been.
I know that entering Wednesday night's game, Emmanuel Terry was forecast not to be in the lineup. He's still enduring some aches and pains and so forth. But so you stick Curtis McMillion back in. He's a redshirt senior. He's a guy who's been a blue-collar worker for you. We've had great guard play throughout the year. It's somebody else's night pretty much every other game. But last night, not only did the guards tee off, Curtis McMillion just steps into that role and just embraces it and really cut loose in the paint.
Yeah, he gets 20 and 10, and Kurt's really probably quietly had a very nice career. I think he's top 5 in our school history in shot blocks. Kurt's top 15 school history in rebounding, and he does it in such a understated way. You just watch him play, and you don't think that. You're just like, what is he doing? And but his numbers over his career have been outstanding. He's not a guy who's played a ton of minutes. I mean, he's never been a full-time starter or anything like that. But he just comes in, he does his job, and he's exactly what you want to see as a senior, where guys are playing their best basketball. You see it with him. I think you see it with Jarrell Simmons. You're seeing it with some of these guys where they're, as fifth-year seniors, they're operating at the highest level possible.
Without a doubt. The victory over Wingate kind of had some people in a lull. I'm not used to seeing us play Wingate and there be a lack of energy in the building as there was last night. But to be quite honest with you, I mean, the game got away from the Bulldogs somewhere early in the first half and kind of took the crowd out of it too.
Yeah, it's that's one of those things. You hope the crowd is energized by a good performance, and they stay into it. But it's Christmas break. There's no students here, and so it was what it was. But certainly we got off to a really good start. We got out 14-0, and we led by 15-17 most of the first half. Went up by 22 at the half, and then they were able to narrow it down a little bit, and then next thing you know, it explodes out to a 35, 37, and we were able to empty the bench there the last 5-6 minutes.
No rest for the weary. I think you're 9-1 now in the year. You got one more game before the turn into the holidays. That's on the road, and oddly enough, it's going to be against a team that presents a lot of problems for us in Dave Davis and the Wolves down there at Newberry. I mean, the dribble drive, you've got tremendous three-point shooting. They play extremely fast. They run platoon at you. There's just one thing after another, and so it's a difficult preparation.
It really is. They're a team that really nobody likes to play. They have trouble scheduling non-conference games. They just keep coming at you for 40 minutes on both sides of the ball. They do a great job on the offensive side, do a great job with their pressure and their trapping on the defensive side, and they've been really consistently good. I mean, I think 3 or 4 years in a row now they've won like 20 games, 19 games, right in that ballpark. Here they are. They lose Dondre Walker and DeMarcus Smith, 2 of the elite players in the league, and here they are 8-3, through 11 games and turning people over like crazy. And really, they're a couple plays away from being better than that. They were in an absolute battle with Queens. They wound up losing by 7, but it was, I think, 1-point game under a minute to go. They lose by 3 down at Wingate in a really tough game. Had a chance to win that one. So you look at them, and they could easily be 10-1. And Dave's got a style of play. They're very committed to it. It's a difficult style to prepare for, and certainly going to tax us in terms of our ball toughness, in terms of our defense transition, and in the half court. Fortunately, a lot of the things we had to prepare for with Wingate offensively from our defensive standpoint are things that will translate to the Newberry game.
If you're watching the show tonight, that's not the applause for the Railsplitters' efforts this year. That's the rainfall outside. A lot of heavy rainfall here today throughout the tri-state area. Coach, I had the opportunity. We got a couple minutes left in the show. I was looking at the NABC poll. Of course, Queens still undefeated, I think, at 10-0. That was before last night. I don't know if they played or not. So they stay at 10-0. They're ranked number 12. We're number 13 now at 9-1. We're followed by King, who's lost a couple of games, slipped past Belmont Abbey yesterday. But all in all, you look back there, Bellarmine's still ranked. They've moved up the ladder a little bit. This is a ridiculous national schedule. I don't know that an LMU men's basketball team has ever played a national schedule the way they have this year.
Yeah, this is, I mean, for me, by far the toughest schedule we've ever played. We're gonna. And if you combine both polls, we played Lenore Ryan, who's nationally ranked. I mean, so you're sitting there going, this is we'll play our third and fourth games against nationally ranked opponents in our first 11 or 12. So that's the thing we knew. We knew we were going to be tested. We knew we were going to, certainly have truth about our team, and we have truth. And there's things that we're really doing at a good level that we need to continue to build on. And obviously, you want to soar with your strengths, but also there's things that in areas we've been exposed in and things we've been exposed in and areas you got to go back and clean up. And so the biggest thing for us is to be able to handle what happened yesterday the right way and move forward and get ready for a really good Newberry team.
Well, Coach, we want to wish you the best of luck Saturday, and hopefully that you and the guys will go down there to Newberry, take care of business, and that'll send you into a great holiday season.
Sounds good, Russ. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, Railsplitters take on the Wolves Saturday at 4 p.m. I'll have your pregame coverage following the Lady Railsplitter action that gets underway at 1:40 with pregame, then 2 o'clock tip-off. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back to talk more about the upcoming weekend. This is the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Thanks to coaches Al Carrington and Josh Schertz for joining us on the show tonight. This, of course, is our final show with LMU Athletics before the upcoming holidays. We'll be talking next week with Bill Dean of the Middlesboro Rojos about the recent Rojo shopping spree to benefit the area's needy children. And that involved some LMU student athletes, coaches, and faculty and staff, and we'll see some of them and what they got into in that particular spree. And that's next Thursday night at 6:30. Right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Don't forget, this coming weekend, both teams on the road down in Newberry, South Carolina. Pregame coverage for the women's matchup begins at 1:40. I'll have the tip-off at 2 o'clock. Then, of course, the Railsplitters follow. Josh Schertz and his team trying to move to 10-1 and make the turn at the holiday break with their only loss to King, who is now behind them in the national poll, but trying to remain undefeated in league play. That's the more important thing as they prepare for 2016. And, of course, that will carry over from the women's broadcast and into the men. And you can catch that on WLMU 91.3 FM and on 913thegap.com if you want to listen to the live broadcast through the LMU Sports Network. If not, there's video streaming offered by Newberry College, and you can check that out as well. Again, to keep up to date on everything going on with LMU Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. All the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, videos, photographs, and much more. And that's the LMU Athletics website. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.